When discussing the pantheon of 20th century leaders, Joseph Stalin stands out as one of the most controversial figures. Rising from an unassuming background, he came to dominate the Soviet Union, casting an indelible shadow over the course of world history. This video aims to provide a brief yet comprehensive overview of Stalin's life, exploring both his contributions to the USSR and the atrocities for which he is often vilified. Born in 1878 in Gori, Georgia, to a poor family, Stalin experienced a turbulent childhood marked by poverty, domestic violence, and bouts of illness. Despite these challenges, he managed to secure a scholarship at a theological seminary, where he was first introduced to Marxist ideology. This education set the stage for his future involvement in the Russian revolutionary movement. Stalin's meteoric rise in the Bolshevik Party began in earnest after the October Revolution of 1917. Through a combination of political cunning, strategic alliances, and ruthless pragmatism, he managed to consolidate power, especially after the death of Vladimir Lenin in 1924. By the end of the 1920s, Stalin had effectively silenced, exiled, or executed most of his rivals. One cannot discuss Stalin without addressing his ambitious economic and industrial reforms. Perceiving the Soviet Union as dangerously backward in comparison to Western Europe, Stalin introduced the 5-year plans, aiming to rapidly industrialize the nation. To a significant extent, these plans worked. Between 1928 and 1940, the Soviet Union transformed from a primarily agrarian society to one of the world's leading industrial powers. Collectivization, a component of these reforms, aimed at consolidating individual farms into large, state-controlled enterprises. Though it boosted agricultural output, the process was painful. Millions resisted, leading to widespread famine, particularly in Ukraine, and the death of countless kulaks, or wealthy peasants. However, Stalin's reign is perhaps most infamously associated with the Great Terror of the late 1930s. Fearing internal dissent, he sanctioned purges that resulted in the execution, imprisonment, or exile of millions. The Red Army, the intelligentsia, ethnic minorities, and even members of the Communist Party were not spared from his suspicion and wrath. Stalin's leadership during World War II further complicates his legacy. Despite initial missteps, such as the ill-fated Nazi-Soviet Pact of 1939, Stalin rebounded to become a central figure in the Allies' victory over Hitler. His shrewdness in diplomacy, coupled with the immense sacrifices of the Soviet people, played a pivotal role in the defeat of the Axis powers. In conclusion, Joseph Stalin's life and leadership present a paradox. On one hand, he is credited with transforming the USSR into a superpower and playing a key role in the defeat of Nazism. On the other, he presided over vast atrocities and human rights abuses. As historians and scholars continue to grapple with his complex legacy, one thing remains clear. Stalin's impact on the 20th century is both undeniable and unforgettable.